Hi, my name is Mariah Parent. I'm from the US. I was born in Wichita, Kansas, and later I went to college at Grove City College, which is in Western Pennsylvania. I majored in English and French with a minor in philosophy. And then I moved to Korea. So I got to visit Korea before moving here. I visited for 1 month in the summer of 2004. I lived on a campus for an exchange program for that time, and then also spent an extra week with my friend and her family in Busan. So fortunately, I had an introduction to Korean culture, Korean language and food, all before I actually moved permanently out to Korea. Although I had no idea I would be here permanently at that time. I've been here since July of 2005 with a few visits back to the US just for a couple weeks at a time. And so it's almost 7 years. I've learned so many things about myself, I think, about the world, about what's important in life while being here. I've definitely had my ups and downs. Some of my favorite moments have been living with a homestay family for 1 year and the times we shared together, getting to know them on a really personal level and learning not to just say Korean people, but really see the people I lived with as individuals, and therefore my students and the others I've met as individuals. I love to see those kids grow up, the kids in the homestay family. I've also enjoyed volunteering very much. I've gotten to volunteer in a couple of children's homes, one in Pohang and another one in Seoul, and I can see just how much difference it makes to really care about kids. So that's really my passion here in Korea now. I've gone through difficult times too, and most of those were related to relationships. It's been really hard losing a family member while I was here in Korea, but it's also made me seek God and have a deeper faith. I just felt the comfort of God, but also I learned how to make healthier friendships, and I've been really blessed by the good friends that have stuck with me while I've been in Korea, those living outside Korea, and also the friends that I have made here. And I'm so happy to be in contact with people over a number of years and develop those connections and a support system here in Korea as well. I think I will plan to live and stay in Korea for several more years. I like the school where I am. This is the 4th job I've had since coming to Korea, and I've benefited, and I hope my students have benefited in all those cases. But this last one, I have a small school and a very personal connection with the students, and so I've been really enjoying seeing their visions and their dreams and encouraging them as much as I can. As far as advice for teachers coming to live in Korea, I think the biggest shock will probably be communication style. Of course, that can happen in any place, but you might be surprised by some patterns in communication that you just can't recognize at first. I think people often hold back what they really want to say here for various reasons, and it's important to know that you're used to open, honest communication, and they're used to not rocking the boat as a rule. And so getting past that involves probably adjustment on both sides and a lot of patience, but it's also a lot of fun when you do accomplish, having a good relationship with the people you work with and the friends that you meet. As far as recommended places to visit and see, I like going into the big city, Seoul. That's exciting for me. I like to see some of the parks, of course the palaces and museums, but getting outside the city is what makes me really feel like, I'm in Korea. Just seeing the landscape through the window while I take a train. I've been to Gyeongju, the capital of the Shilla dynasty, in all 4 seasons, and it's a very beautiful place. I also recommend going to Busan or even Jeju-do, which has so many volcanic rocks along the beach, and of course a great mountain, Halasan, which is pretty fun to hike, although it's quite a lot of work. As far as my own life, social media here in Korea, I didn't expect to use it this much, but being far away from my family and also not even able to see all my friends here that often, I use Facebook daily, and I've just started uploading these YouTube videos. I gave up on Twitter and Cyworld, which I used with Korean students for a while, but now pretty much everyone I want to talk to is on one of the media networks I mentioned, or else uses some app on the smartphone like KakaoTalk. As far as food, I love Korean food, and if I hadn't loved it, I don't know how I'd stay here, but thankfully, I really enjoy the various soups like stews called jjigae, kimchi jjigae and doenjang jjigae, which is from bean paste, bori rice. That's pretty good. That's barley rice. And I like tofu. I love the seasonal fruits and vegetables like persimmons and some of the street food you can get, like hodok, which is a kind of flatbread, like a pancake that's filled with cinnamon and honey. I like tteokbokki, that spicy sauce with rice cakes you can buy on the street. And I also like just trying what other people serve me. I think it's good to be gracious and enjoy food together. And that's one thing I've learned, is just the enjoyment of sharing food together here. As far as celebrities, I don't pay attention and I wouldn't know who's famous in any culture really. So I tried to look up a singer I like and I couldn't even find her name. I'll mention one actor that I do care for, Cha In-pyo, and he was a main actor in Crossing, a movie about North Korean refugees. And also he's been very influential in bringing media attention to the situation of refugees in China. So I respect him for his social work. As far as learning Korean, it's been a great experience. I have met so many people by trying to speak Korean, and some people are really delighted when I do, and then they also show off their awesome English skills. So I definitely recommend trying to learn the local language as much as you can. I want to say a few basic phrases right now before closing. So I'll start with thank you, 감사합니다, and have a great day. 좋은 하루 되세요. And what is your name? 이름이 뭐예요? And I'm from the USA. 미국에서 왔습니다. And finally, it's time to say goodbye. This is the goodbye expression you use when people are going away, and we are both going away from this video. So, 안녕히 가세요.